Hi, my name is Naufia Mohammed and I'm speaking on behalf of Teachers Against Poverty. Today I'm going to introduce Miss Janet Adeogun. She's a teacher from Nigeria who teaches children with disabilities. Now we'll move on to a discussion with her regarding her activities, her motives to eradicate children's education poverty and for a better future for them.
Hello dear friends and families, my name is Janet Adeogun. I work with students living with disabilities in the Eagle Rain Initiative, Kaduna State, Nigeria. I wanted to announce to you all that I have joined the Teachers Against Poverty movement.
Janet Adeogun is a Nigerian from Oyo State but reside in Kaduna State. She attended University of Jos where she obtained a Bachelor of Science education in Physics Education. She proceeded to obtain a Master of Science education in Educational Technology. She is an educator. Her specific area of interests cut across social justices and humanities. Her articles have appeared in organizations such as the International Library of Poetry, where she was given Editor's Choice Award in 2002.
Hi Janet, welcome to Teachers Against Poverty.
Thank you so much, Nafia.
Okay, thank you. And it is an honorable, getting you here. It is very good to us because we know about your activities and your intentions behind it. So I'm asking you a few questions related to that.
Okay, thank you so much, Nafia.
The first question is, please tell us about yourself and your activities.
Okay, I first of all want to thank Teachers Against Poverty for giving me this rare opportunity to be here. I really want to say thank you, Mohammed Abedi. Thank you, Nafia. Glad to see your face. Though we've been chatting through WhatsApp, but glad to see your face. My name is Janet Adeogun. I'm from Oyo State, Nigeria. I reside in the northern part of Nigeria, that is Kaduna State. I'm married to Sheyi Adeogun, and we are blessed with 3 boys. I'm a researcher. I'm an educator, an educationist. I'm a computer analyst, and then I am a writer. I'm an advocate for students living with disabilities. Then I've been privileged to get some award with Academic Against Poverty, ASAP, and then I had an opportunity to gain an award from International Library of Poetry. Then I also have an organization that caters, the Eagle Rain Initiative, that caters for students with disabilities. For now, I will just stop here.
Okay, and now since you're a teacher, you're a writer, now you're teaching children, can I know what age group these children belongs to?
Okay, beautiful. Now, asking of the age group, yes, if I should tell you the age group between 6 to 30, you'll be amazed. But between the age of 6 to 30, because especially some of my students living with disabilities, well, we'll get to that point. There are some little things that has to do with their age limits, but basically between the age of 6 and 30.
So now I hope these things are happening in a low income settings and you will be facing some challenges.
Yes,
so
massive challenges.
Can you please tell about those special challenges that have come up with your teaching in such a kind of settings?
Okay. When we talk about low income settings, well, it varies related to accessibility of road, then also social amenities, infrastructure, then and lots more. Now, when it comes to some of those challenges, now recently I went to a school, and I discovered that students had no chairs. They were sitting on the floor. And some of the classes had no roofs. So these are one in few of so many. So living or teaching in a low income setting has to do with one, the environment is not conducive for the students. Two, accessibility, road accessibility is very bad. Sometimes the children will have to walk miles to get to their school. And also teachers walking like elephants and eating like ants. I'm sure you understand what I mean when it has to do with pay. The pay is not encouraging, but these are some of the few things that has to do with low income settings, teaching in low income settings.
So this is like especially difficult, at the same time especially rewarding also, right?
Yes, rewarding and difficult. Rewarding in the sense that, one, when you're working with passion, you find it very rewarding. You
Of course.
enjoy doing what you do. Then when you have a heart of sacrifice, you don't care what comes into your pockets. You go extra miles to see that these children, they are the future of tomorrow. So we must, as teachers, ensure that we would impact their lives. And sometimes your pockets become drained. Those are the sacrifices, your money, your time. And then I still say it, you're working like elephants, but eating like ants. But still, you see that your purpose, you want to fulfill your purpose, your passion to ensure that these children are being impacted. And then you also ensure that the push inside of you comes out to see that everything is made possible for these children.
Now, since you're a teacher, you're teaching kids from different age group, you'll have to explain
Yes.
some concepts to them. Like
Yes.
children should understand your concepts. How do you tackle
Yes.
this kind of things? Like how are you explaining your concepts to them?
Okay, that's okay. Like I said earlier, I work with students living with disabilities. So they have worked with students with and without disabilities, and I've been able to what merge and be able to what teach both at different levels. So being able to pass my concept one, what I do is I bring in the realities of life to what I'm teaching. I like for the student living with disabilities, I try to teach them using their imagination. Like the visually impaired, they don't see. So I have to create some imaginations in their mindset to ensure that they understand the concept I'm teaching. And some of the skills I've taught, I had to use technology to pass my concepts across to them.
Thank you. So my next question is, what an outsider cannot understand about your activities?
Okay, what do you mean by outsider? Is it outside my country or?
No, not outside your country, somebody who's not into what you're doing.
Okay, I understand. Thank you so much. Yes, I tell myself as a teacher, I should be able to make everyone understand what I'm doing, irrespective of his or her background. So if I want an outsider that has no knowledge of education, I'm sure that's what you meant. That has no knowledge of education. Yes, that has no knowledge of education. I have this concept of I must be able to make my my ways of teaching, my methods of teaching simple, clear, and ensure that I still say it. I make sure that I bring the reality of that locality, of that environment into play to ensure that everybody, even outsiders, understand what I'm doing.
Uh, so now, like you took up this career, you know that. Hello. Okay. So now you took up this career. It was your choice to
Okay.
take to move on to this career, right? You know there will be challenges.
Yes, yes.
So, despite knowing that there will be challenges, that what was the motive behind it to take up this career and move forward with it?
Hello?
Did you hear my question?
Hello? Yes, I think I hear it. What is the motivation behind what I'm doing?
Yes, yes.
Bearing in mind that there are challenges. Now, I got to a point that I understood that passion is what I'm willing, is what I'm willing to die for. I don't know if you understand. Now, what I'm trying to say is the passion I have for what I'm doing. Now, I believe that what I'm doing is worth dying for, irrespective of the encouragement, irrespective of whatever I receive, irrespective of the challenges. But my passion keeps driving me that I am worth dying. It is worth dying to ensure that these children benefit from whatever I am doing. My passion, then two, my purpose. I believe that my purpose is a driving force for my life. So whatever I'm doing, I aim at fulfilling my purpose, which is a driving force to what I'm doing. And the second one is the advocacy I have. Now, sometimes I tell myself this, no one can do it better than I can. So I should be able to do it the way I want to do it. So irrespective of the challenges, I ensure that I advocate for what I'm doing to make sure that these children experience and gain impactful and beautiful positive knowledge.
Thank you. So, my next question is like this: how well do you think the education officials can help to improve the situation?
Like I tell people that everyone has role to play. So
Sorry,
everyone has role to.
it's not. It
Okay,
was
can
not.
you hear me now?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Okay. I said I tell myself that everyone has a role to play. Non-government, government officials, organizations,
Okay.
whichever, everyone has different roles to
So,
play.
okay. Like people and teachers from outside your country,
Yes,
how can they be
yes.
helpful? How well can they be helpful?
Okay, how well? One, through advocacy. Two,
Okay.
through one, through advocacy. Then two, CPD, that is continuous professional development in training personnel, training teachers, training educators, and also grants if there are grants to push the work harder, like and ensure that the environment are conducive for the children. So these are few amongst many that they would come in. Advocacy, advocate to, then create more awareness,
Yeah.
then CPDs, train more personnel, continuous training, then also three, by funding the project. That's that's a major thing I feel they can come in.
Now,
And just like what you're doing, just like what Teachers Against Movement are doing, trying to boost the confidence in teachers. Because I see it as you're boosting our confidence as teachers. You're making us to love what we do to ensure that our children live in peace and also study in peace. Thumbs up for you.
thank you. So now, can you please elaborate on a brain competition?
Okay, the brains competition. Okay, we kickstarted it 2 years ago, 2020. I think that was it. Okay, thank you. All right. The brains competition, like I said earlier, it kickstarted in 2020. Like I said, while introducing myself, I work with students living with disabilities. So I sat down one day and I looked at a lot of eligibility, the criteria for participating in so many quiz. And I discovered that my students will not benefit from it, especially age limits. I have students who, because of their disabilities, they had to stop school and had to start all over again. I don't know if you understand. Some of my students at age 25, they're still in high school. I'm sure you. So if an organization is organizing an event, a competition, and you're putting a criteria that the participant must be within the age grade without considering that there are people that have challenges, that have disabilities that are not within that age range. So I told myself, come to think of it, let's do it within ourselves. Let's do it within this particular this age range. I don't even put age range in my criteria. I just said, okay, strictly for visually impaired. Once you're in this high school, once you're in this, I made it very plain. So that's the major, and also want to boost the high level of confidence in these children to make sure that they are people that must be catered for. They are people that must be respected in the society. They are people that their voices must be heard, irrespective of their location. So that was the brain, or that's one of the reasons, some of the reasons why the brain competition was put to play. Like for the spelling bee, strictly for the visually impaired, we had it 2020 and 2021, and we're going to be having one July 30th, strictly for the hearing impaired students. So that's why, and we've had positive impact, but positive feedbacks from the parents of the children, from the students themselves. So what other joy do I have? And sorry to cut you up. I also made at a point I reached out to some organizations and I had to plead with them that your criteria, can you just take it off so that students living with disabilities can benefit? But most of them turned me down. But one, Y Sports, saw the need, and I was happy they were able to collaborate with the Eagle Rain Initiative for the past 2 years to ensure that our dreams come to pass. Sorry, thank you so much, Nafia.
Now, while you have been with your children, what was the most
Yes, ma'am.
beautiful moment?
The most fulfilling moment, let me just shock you, is when your students will look into your face, or even call you or send you message. God bless you. Thank you so much. I'll make you proud. Even with their challenges, they are struggling and ensuring that they make you happy. It's fulfilling.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. So now, while being in your profession, have you ever felt such a great frustration, because of this educational injustice happening around the world?
Yes, at a point I did. I was almost backing out. Yes, we are humans. We are humans. Because when your effort, you're putting in effort, but yet nothing is coming out of it. So it's frustrating even as humans. So at that point, I got to a point that I was almost frustrated and backed out. But then my passion came running to my face.
So now, do you think this international community is paying enough attention to these kind of problems?
Ah, yes and no. Yes and no. And let me make an explanation, a scenario. Maybe you understand what I'm saying. Now, there are two people, and in between, there's a barrier between two people that one cannot reach to another, and the other cannot reach out to the other. So some of those things, there are barriers that prevent international groups from reaching out to developing countries or underdeveloped countries. I'm sure you understand. So
Okay.
when I said yes, they're trying their best. They are really trying their best. But if I say no, the barriers, whatever, people, human, non-humans, barriers are preventing such impact from reaching out. I'm sure you understand what I'm.
Sure. Yes, yes. So now, can I move on to the next question?
Okay, thank you so much.
This is the last question actually, and it is, what is the role of a teacher in reducing and eliminating child poverty, according to you?
Okay, one, let me use my personal experience.
Sure.
Now, during the COVID-19, I sat down, I looked at the virtual learning platforms, and I discovered that none of them catered for students living with disabilities. And I just reached out, I sent messages. I want to create a free learning platform for people living with disabilities. And so within 2 months, I had over 100 students, and 80% of them were visually impaired that came into that free online learning platform. So I did that. One, most of them are children, not of high class, like I said, maybe they are average, some of them are low, are into poverty, some of them are trying, are struggling. So one of the things I did was, one, to help them out. Sometimes I have to buy data. There's something we buy data in Nigeria. I had to buy data for them to ensure that they attend the online classes. Then I also went extra miles to where we have Zoom lessons like this. I have to convert the video to audio so that they can gain more, especially those that miss the Zoom classes. So one, I had to shake my pockets and brought out more cashes, brought out more money to ensure that my student benefits. So one is sacrifice your money, your time, and sometimes your patience. I don't know if you understand. Your patience, you sacrifice, you ensure that you're patient enough, you cool off when you get to a point that you're boiling up, you're getting frustrated, but cool enough to ensure that these children benefit from what you're doing. So one, sacrifice your pocket. Then two, training myself, even as teachers, I had to go through extra training, continuous training to ensure that I gain more, and also to even talk more with the students. Sometimes I have time to really talk to my students on how to invite some guest speakers to even help they themselves to come out from that poverty. And I tell people it's not only money-wise, the poverty of the mind, poverty of money, then poverty of different areas. So I, as a teacher, have to make sure that every aspect of these children are positively affected to bring them out from poverty. So there are lots of things that I did. One, sacrifice. Two, train myself. I retrained myself. Then two, also train the students. Then sometimes I had to create awareness through my write-ups. I had to create awareness through my write-ups to the public through my different social media handles for people to really understand the reason why they need to help children out of poverty.
Thank you, Janet, for having your time, discussing
Thank you, Nafi.
these questions and answers here.
Thank you so much.
I hope you had a wonderful session with us.
Yes, I did. Thank you for having me. Teachers Against Poverty. Thank you. Thank you so much, Nafia. Glad to see your face.
So let's hope all your activities, all your motives get noticed and get a good result.
Yes, I will let you know.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. We also have a competition strictly for hearing impaired July 30th. So we're working on it. Thank you.
Our wish is that one day, all children will study in complete freedom and peace and have good educational facilities. We close our eyes and think of a day when the competition between children in a field is equal.